right, so I got a couple private messages asking me about my little, well, the girl I fell for, right? They asked me what she looked like, what she looked like, what she looked like. Everybody cares about what she looks like. Here's the thing, man. You know, and I responded to a buddy of mine from high school, as a matter of fact, Wes, talking about, she's a nerdy little girl. Here's the thing, though. It's not the outside. The outside, the wrapper, the package, that's nice. But the thing that made me fall from her, I told her about the 2 worst moments of my life. And we did this over text messages at work last year. And when I told her, she comes running up to me, comes to the cell, looks at me with tears in her eyes and says, "That's fucked up." I realized something. I realized a lot of things in that moment. One was that she understood some of the pain that I've been through in my life. So, to having someone who can understand the pain that I've been through in my life, it means she had to experience something similar. And so it becomes one of these things that what made me fall for her was realizing, one, that we kind of had shared trauma, but 2, that she had this big, beautiful heart that was fractured from all the bad shit that had happened to her. And a lot of times when bad stuff happens to you, it can twist you, make you into somebody you don't want to be. I fell in love with her heart, man. She could have withdrawn. She could have just said that was fucked up. She could have, thought all these wild things about me and tried to make me into something that instead she empathized with me. And that's when I realized that that's when I fell for her. And I didn't fall for her because of how she looks on the outside. Don't get me wrong, pretty girl, pretty woman. But she has a heart full of love regardless of all the bad things that have happened to her. And just being around this girl changed me. It pulled me back. I got back to being a little bit of my old self when I just got back this time, because I had to go to prison for 5 months. I had to become that guy again in prison, and not that guy that I wanted to be on the street. And even now I'm living in a halfway house around a bunch of convicts and criminals. So I'm still kind of that guy. The guy that she knew when I told her this, the guy who opened up to her like that guy only existed for 33 days when I got kicked out of the halfway house last year. And part of what drew him out was her. She's not a strong person. She's tiny. She's like 4'10", an inch taller than my mom. So it's easy for me to look at her, even as short as she is, and see her as a woman. And I've grown up my entire life with having a short little woman yelling at me and screaming at me and telling me what to do. And so it's not that hard for her, especially being, my boss at work, for me to see her as a woman trying to do a job dealing with a bunch of men. A lot of which are, these rough criminal types. And I admire her strength. Not the physical strength, but the mental and emotional strength that it takes to hold yourself together even while you're falling apart. to face potential trauma every day and to just push through because you have no other choice. I respect that. I love that about her. Because if I can understand that about her, then she should be able to understand that about me. And I shouldn't have to explain myself because she knows. And I don't know. You go 17 years of fighting to try to prove that you're innocent of all these things that people are exaggerating and lying about, and what you end up finding is that you finally found someone who understands, who can understand how you feel, and it's like being whole. I made a video, I deleted it since, but in that video I said that I want to take her fractured little heart and put it back together, and if I have to, I'd use the pieces of my own broken heart to do it. That I was willing to be both unfit for heaven and the most hated guy in hell because I wouldn't denounce God to be by her side. I meant that.